Have you ever had a moment of inspiration in the most unexpected place? In 2016, Dr. Scott Barry Kaufman led a study concluding that 72% of people had experienced new ideas in the shower. The study also found that 14% already took regular showers with the sole purpose of generating inspiring thoughts. So it should come to you as no surprise that the most unexpected moment of inspiration in my life that became a turning point was over a plate of dough balls. It was 2016, I was having dinner with my friend who introduced me to a personal development course that she wanted me to spend £500 on. I remember thinking, why is she trying to get me to join some hippy-dippy woo-woo cult? But it's because she knew that secretly I'd been hiding how much I was actually struggling. You see, now I'm the founder of a successful international business. I invented a product that has made life easier for thousands of customers all over the world. I've won multiple business awards, and my social media views total over 200 million. But what you don't know is that I had the idea for the business in 2006, and for 10 years I sat on it and I did nothing. For 10 years I lacked the courage to start my own business. For 10 years, in fact, for most of my life, I've never believed in myself. To explain why I felt like that, we need to go back to the beginning, to my mum and dad, the real founders of my product business. Almost 50 years ago, in 1976, my mum came to the UK from Pakistan. When she married my dad, she was thrust into a family of 12. All the household responsibilities were her duty. One of them was making a traditional flatbread, also known as roti or chapati. It's a staple diet in most South Asian households. When you make the flatbread, you have to flour a worktop, and the flour can get everywhere. Every nook and cranny, along the side of the cooker, even on the floor. When you finish making it, you're left with clearing up the floury mess. It was quite a chore because she was making this flatbread morning, noon, and night for 12 people, all eating at different times of the day. It was driving her crazy, cleaning the mess, only to have to make the mess again and then clean it up again. So she turned to my dad, who was excellent at DIY, and he crafted her this wooden box so she could make the flatbread inside it and all the mess would stay contained inside. The box multiplied and my dad made one for every single family member. He made one for me when I left home. When my friends would see it, their jaws would be on the floor. They would say, "This is brilliant. You should sell these." It was only then that I realized that the box that my dad had made to solve the problem for my mum was unexpected inspiration for a new business. So what was the problem? Why did it take 10 years before I took any action? There was one big problem, and that was me. You see, the same parents unintentionally, negatively impacted what I believed about myself. I am not here to blame or shame them, because I know that they did their best, and I love them for that. Like most South Asian immigrant parents, it was their first time being in a foreign country. They were struggling themselves. It was their first time being parents. Let's just say, because of all these things, I grew up in a very negative household, very risk adverse. There was constant, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say this, what will people say, you can't wear that, you can't go there, you can't, was embedded in me. I always felt restricted and would never dream of doing anything outside of the norm. I thought life after school for me was going to be married and stuck in a kitchen. Starting my own business wasn't even an option to have as a dream. It was really confusing. I had this fire inside me. I wanted more, and I felt like I could be more. But I was surrounded by women all doing the same thing as my mum. There was no one doing anything different. There was no one breaking barriers. There was no female role models that looked like me. At school, I was the only brown girl. No one understood me or my culture or my religion. And because of that, I was always alone. I was afraid to speak, scared of saying something stupid and being laughed at. All I ever wanted was to fit in and be accepted. But instead, I was picked on and humiliated. When I was 7 years old, something happened that shouldn't have happened. It should never happen to anyone. I'm not going to talk about that now. I had no one to talk about it with then either. So I blocked it from my mind. And I left it there, undisturbed, for years. All of these experiences made me believe that I was worthless. That I was never going to achieve anything. And that I was destined to be unhappy. But what do? Life goes on. You grow up. You muddle through, carrying all this weight, burying it deep inside, not realizing how it's going to impact you later in life, how it's going to hold you back and affect your mind. You just carry on with a fake smile on your face, covering up your pain and covering up your insecurities. Until one day, in an Italian restaurant, having dinner with my friend, over the plate of dough balls, she convinced me to go on that personal development course. Despite my initial apprehensions, I went with an open mind and everything changed. I was hooked. Books, videos, courses, therapy, you name it, I've done it. I've confronted my past. I've healed. I've accepted. And I've evolved. I've realized I can do whatever I put my mind to. I've realized I can be who I want to be. I can do things out of the norm. With this new positive outlook in life, I realized with God by my side, I can do anything. So while all this is going on, and I'm this new woman buzzing in life, something else happened. Another unexpected moment of inspiration. As cheesy as it might sound, I watched a movie, and it became another turning point. It was a true story about a female entrepreneur who invents a mop. It's about all the challenges she had to go through, how no one believed in her, but she does it. She becomes super successful and all her dreams come true. The end scene, she's sitting at a desk and she's the CEO, and she's now helping other people achieve their dreams. I watched that movie and I thought, oh my gosh, if she can do it with a mop, then I can do it with my dad's box. And that was it. I wrote a product brief and my journey began. Despite being told that the product would take 6 months to develop, it actually took a bit longer because everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I was stuck in a loop of 1 step forward and 2 steps back. It was a real test of my patience, my persistence, and my perseverance to succeed. But I knew I couldn't give up. I knew God had put a dream in my heart for a reason. To launch my business, it actually took 4 years. 4 years of failures. 4 years of, should I just give up? 4 years of literal blood, sweat, and tears. During that period, after the first 2 years, there was a major problem, and the project actually died. Until one day, the designer had an unexpected moment of inspiration. It was a real eureka moment. He fixed the problem. It meant the project was back on. I could finally launch my business, and it changed my entire life. Can you believe it? His eureka moment didn't happen in the office, sitting at his desk, or in a meeting room over a cup of coffee. It happened in the shower. History is rich with eureka moments. Scientists like Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton are said to have had moments of inspiration whilst thinking about other things. But is inspiration enough? Absolutely not. Thomas Edison remarks, what it boils down to is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. I know that firsthand, given how long it took for me to launch my business. So yes, inspiration is important. And yes, it can be found in the most unexpected places. But it's the part that happens after which is essential. The hard work, determination, the belief in yourself, the will to keep going no matter what, staying positive until the job is done. So the next time you're afraid to start something new, scared of taking a risk, afraid to leave your comfort zone, do it. Just go for it and embrace it. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Work hard, stay focused, and embrace the journey toward the unexpected. You have to look beyond what is familiar to discover the unexpected. And you never know. You might be surprised at what you might find. Know that the pains of our past are what have molded us into who we are today. They are the unexpected lessons of life and the essence of who we become. And if all else fails, you can always jump in the shower or go and get some dough balls. Thank you.